And so I wanted you on this week so we could specifically talk about the party, too. So Saturday night, you and your fiancée, Michelle Mulitz, lovely Michelle Mulitz.
She is lovely.
She is a great girl.
Mm-hmm.
You're a lucky guy.
I like that.
And you guys threw an awesome Valentine's party.
Why, thank you.
It was like...
Had you been to previous ones?
I don't think I had been...
This was the biggest one.
This was the biggest. I think I came to your housewarming party.
Oh, yeah.
So I had been to your parties
before. You've been
before.
there before, just not... This was the third year of our Valentine's party, and it just started... The first year it started as just we wanted to spend more money than we needed to on our friends.
But how'd you pick Valentine's? Because it was very smart because there's no competition. Like Halloween, everyone has a Halloween party. So you picked a holiday that no one else does.
Yeah, well, that's specifically why. I mean, Halloween, obviously, you're competing with everybody in the world.
Right.
It's a good holiday that... Also, we wanted to give our friends that weren't in a relationship something to do as well, and not make it this lovey-dovey couples thing.
And it was on February 16th, Saturday.
We always do it on the Saturday that's closest to Valentine's Day. We would never do it on Valentine's. Even if Valentine's Day was on a Saturday, we wouldn't do it.
Right, you do Friday or Sunday or something.
Because people have their own things.
But it's just a nice theme because it's love and hearts and you guys...
we go a little dirty.
No, but so explain it. So it was kind of a carnival for adults with... like a charity element and tickets. I'll let you pitch.
Well, so that was new this year.
The party,
every year it's it feels somewhat like a carnival. There's a magician that we have back every single year. The Fantastic Fig. He's amazing. And the first year we had like a sexual star chart reader, and she would read people's stars, but in some kind of a romantic way or something.
Right.
We had just everything from cotton candy machines to bizarre carnival games and stuff like that.
There's like food everywhere.
Yeah, we make sure there's candy. The candy's a big thing to us, both on Valentine's Day and not.
And every day.
And so it just sort of, and the party's kind of grown each year, and it grows sort of exponentially and gets bigger and bigger each Valentine's Day. And there's only been 3, but it's grown consistently by the same sort of percentage. Like it just gets much bigger each year.
Right.
So this year we decided, and Chrysalis approached us because they knew that. So Chrysalis is an incredible organization, changelives.org, and they help homeless people get back on their feet and get jobs.
Yeah.
And you go downtown to their offices. They're in downtown and they're in Santa Monica, and you can go there and they've got this huge computer room for people to be surfing the internet and looking for jobs. They've got seminars explaining to them how to be in an interview and how to deal with bosses or customers or people in a professional sense.
Well, you know that I'm very familiar with Chrysalis.
Oh, you are?
Since 2004, because I was Brett Ratner's assistant, and he is very involved.
Brett Ratner's big, he's big there.
Every year we would throw this butterfly ball, and they still do it.
Yeah, we just talked about it today.
I know it's June 8th this year. I have a wedding out of town, otherwise I'd be there. And Rebecca Gayhart's involved in Eric Dane, and so since 2004 I've been going to the butterfly ball, and so I know all about it. And what I love about Chrysalis is that it's not just a charity where you give money and they're going to hand money out to people.
Right.
They use the money to give people suits, give people a cell phone.
There's a whole room filled with work attire.
Right. Yeah. Give people a token for the bus. Give people the tools that you need to get a job. So homeless people come in when they're ready to help themselves. They're ready to get the job. They don't need you to hand them a stack of money because they need you to
teach a man a fish.
Exactly.
Kind of thing,
I was just going to say that. Right.
Yeah.
So if you teach the man a fish, you feed him for a lifetime. So you're giving him all the tools: the bus token, the suit, the computer skills, the phone number, because you can't get a job without a phone number.
Right.
You need something
all
on your resume.
We don't even
think about. Right. So they give them a phone. Those tools will allow them to get a job, which will allow them to make the money to start a life for themselves.
Right.
So Chrysalis, you guys raised.
So they kind of came to us and were like, they're trying to branch out and get into. I mean, obviously we're not throwing the butterfly ball by any means, but they wanted to branch out into smaller groups of people. And so they said, maybe we'll be involved in some capacity. And we were like, sure. And we just took that idea and ran with it.
And
really
set
it up so that when you show up at the party, you could donate whatever you wanted or not donate. But based on what you do, if you do, you get blue tickets and pink tickets representing $5 and $10.
Yeah.
And then we set up a bunch of things for you to be able to get. Because if I go to a party and they're like, give me this money so you can get in the door, I'm like, I don't care for that. But if they're like, if they provide you with some kind of fun thing in return, it gets people excited to donate.
Well, you had a chart set up. So I looked and I was like, well, I want a psychic reading. That's 2 pink tickets.
We had 3 psychics.
And I said I wanted a caricature. I got another pink ticket. So you're buying tickets for fun things. You're leaving with something. You're getting something cool.
We had 4 specialty drinks on the menu that weren't the bars were open, but there were 4 specialty drinks you could get with tickets, including Manhattans that I had made the day before, and the wine that I make, and just a whole bunch of
that's a whole other story. The wine, that's a whole other podcast. Practically, we could talk about wine. You're like a wine expert. What's your label? An expert. Well, you have your own wine label.
I do have my own wine label. It's called Angelica Cellars. Yeah. You can find them at angelicacellars.com.
You're a great host because you did a dinner party once for your wine where you took over the whole restaurant. Yeah, we did a tasting over at BLD, I think. Grace. I thought it was
we did it at Grace too. We've done 2 of them.
Okay.
Michelle and I specifically throw a lot of parties.
Yeah.
That's why I have a feeling this wedding is going to go down well.
Yeah, exactly. That's like the big ultimate.
Yeah, it's
there's
like a lot of pressure to make sure this wedding is awesome.
You should do the ticket charity thing.
You know who we got that's great? Do you remember 10 years ago or more there was this bluegrass band that covered gin and juice? Like, with so much drama in the LBC, it's kind of hard.
Yeah. Yes.
They were called the Gourds, and they're actually an amazing bluegrass band. Yeah, and they're incredible. They do all these original songs, but they also cover stuff like Ziggy Stardust, and cool. They're playing our wedding.
That's amazing.
Really cool, yeah.
That's so cool.
So far the wedding's coming together.
Yeah.
Anyway, the Chrysalis thing was great. We raised a ton of money because there were far more people at our house than we expected.
Yeah. It was a great turnout. But it was also good people, too. It wasn't just like...
people. It was a little much. We had our contractor was there, and he couldn't promise us that the deck that he just built for us wouldn't cave in.
Wow. Yeah, how many people do you think showed up? How many did you invite, and how many do you think showed up?
God knows how many we invited. But I would say more than 200 people showed up, which is just a little much.
That's a lot for a house party. Right.
Especially for that kind of... Our house is shaped in kind of a weird way,
it's
so
like
you
tall.
Forget that it's a house. It feels more like a big apartment with little areas and different, I don't know. A lot of people even wrote the next day and were like, thank you so much for having us at your apartment. It's like, it's not important.
Wow. Yeah.
But
they only made it to one room.
You probably went to the last one that we'll do at our house.
Wow. Because it's outgrown the house. But that's part of the charm of the party is that it's at your house.
I know. We almost did a guest list this year. We almost had security this year.
You can do that. You can do it.
We will, but it's slowly going to become one of those Hollywood parties that's exactly why this party was popular in the first place.
Right. No, but I saw some people. I love seeing like Juliana Guil. She's been on the podcast before. Mm-hmm, yeah. Got to see her. Because she doesn't go out to the club, so I don't get to see her.
No, Juliana does not. Capacity. She's great.
Yeah, a ton of people. I mean, the list could go on forever. But one of my friends who was there, he was like, all of young Hollywood is there. I was like, I guess so. I guess there's a lot of cool young people here.
Yeah, we had some fun. There were some fun guests that showed up. That are definitely. My cousin was in from out of town, and she was really excited to see. Famous. She was telling me earlier. She's like, "Where are there going to be famous people?" And I was like, "I don't know. Maybe most likely there'll be someone you recognize."
Right.
And one after the other, I'm introducing her to like Christina from my show.
Hendricks,
Max Greenfield was there, and just sort of these random people are coming.
But these are people who like have been going to your stuff for years. Yeah, now they recognize them.
Right. Well, Max especially.
Greenfield.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
That's funny.
But yeah, she was really excited. Except for the fact that every time they'd come up, I'd be like, "Marissa, come here. You like famous people? How about this?"
Right.
Can you stop saying?
No, they like that. Yeah. I think it works on both of them. Like,
they liked it. Marissa hated me for saying.
No, she secretly likes it. Just getting the introduction. I saw Stacey Stas there, who I went to college with.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And she's dating Jackson Hurst, who did the show with you.
Drop Dead Diva. The late Drop Dead Diva.
Yeah. And Paul James, I also went to college with. A lot of people. It was fun. But you mentioned the psychic reading. I just want to talk about that for a second.
Yeah, please, because it blew you away.
Well, because I had never had one before, and I'd always wanted one, but I would never.
Had a psychic
because
reading?
I was like, what am I going to do? Go into like a psychic shop and like do it? Like I just never did what you have to do to get a psychic reading. Nothing.
Wow.
Nothing. I mean, I guess it's the only way it happens is at a party like that.
Yeah.
Unless you go to the place to do it, which I've never done. So, So you had this room where one woman was doing energy.
Mm-hmm. She wasn't as popular with everybody.
Well, I didn't really want anyone to.
I think people kind of wanted to call BS on that one.
I just didn't know what was going on in that corner of the room. Then there was a guy doing tarot cards who seemed very nice, but I was waiting for Judy.
You were
Heavenly,
waiting for Judy Heavenly, who was actually
psychic.
the person that I contacted in the first place. She brought them with her.
Okay, so how did that even? How'd you find her?
By the way, she's wonderful, and they did it for free because of the charity. They were the only ones that came to the party. Well, there was
I was wondering
how
it
worked. Alcohol that
was
sponsored. There was vodka and there was beer, but of the invited talent, Judy and the other psychics came and did it for the charity for Chrysalis.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That was nice because we were giving them tickets, and I was thinking, how are they making money on
They're
this?
not.
But she
I
was
sent
giving
them
her
money
business
for gas,
and she was handing out her business card.
Oh, she was.
So so hopefully
there
she.
you go.
But that's okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's fine. I'm fine with that.
Why not? Because I was writing down notes of what she was saying to me, but I was blown away. She was really accurate from the second I sat down. And I don't want to sound hokey, but I sit down in her corner of the room and I show her my palm, and she just started saying all this stuff that was, I mean, I guess they know what to say to make you comfortable and make it seem accurate, but it was stuff that I was like, come on, that wouldn't work for everybody.
No, there was a lot of people that came up to me at the party and were like, oh my God, my mind just got blown.
Yeah. Like she was talking, she was like a little bit of a medium. She was talking to people who've passed away. Yeah. I mean, I was very surprised with her accuracy and her predictions, she was talking about other people in my life.
She emailed me a reading for me and for Michelle, just based on our birthdays and having met us briefly.
Yeah,
and they were pretty spot on.
See,
as well.
I need more time because there was a long line waiting for her. So I kind of,
that.
Well,
I
know why though.
Monopolizing the bedroom, which was where the other bathroom was. So there's a bathroom line and a psychic line.
Right. Yeah. But I loved it. I mean, I was really impressed with it. I could get into everything she said, but I'd rather not. But it was really cool. I mean, it was all positive. And then she did the cards, and I was like nervous that she's going to turn over like a scary tarot card, but they were all good.
Well, and they also usually have a way to spin the scary one. Like the death card doesn't necessarily mean death. It means, a new beginning or the end of a part of your life and a transition and blah, blah, blah. I mean, my mom does tarot cards.
Oh, she does?
So I've been down this road before.
Oh, that's cool.
My mother fancies herself slightly a witch.
Wow. She should see beautiful creatures.
She should.
She would like it.
France,
She would like it.